Hello, guys. This is Alex Julian or Aloysius Zanderman here. Tonight I will be running my talk show with a lot more energy and a lot more enthusiasm for the subject. And the subject will be about two things: music production and music confusion. But definitely it's the confusion part that is the most interesting. So the subject will really be about musical confusion. Definitely, YouTube has been a place with a lot of musical confusion where guys seem to be playing music in music videos, but depending on what the music videos contain, there's just hopeless amounts of confusion in these music videos. You could see it with the false graphics, the false sounds, the false visions, the false visuals, the false content. I mean, this is just a grandiosity sort of scheme going on with music artists having way too much confidence in themselves. And I would not even call them music artists. I mean, when there's art that is so bad, I mean, even saying that it's bad art is insulting to the ears. I mean, this is musical confusion on a large scale of it. Large scale. So much that I hear all this noise and confusion on the internet, on cable TV, on radio, on smartphone, on computer, or whatever, and I have to go outside to get a breath of fresh air and hear silence again. I mean, thank God for silence, or else otherwise I would be a hopeless victim for musical confusion. And definitely, it's really bad at this point with YouTube's standard. Um, Whenever I make these videos talking about music, I make sure that each day I listen to random amounts of music for 2 to 3 hours, so that way I get myself in gear for a talk show and I present my talk show and talk about my frustrations with bad music that is out there. Because definitely recovery from bad music is no joke. It's no joke. Bad music in severe cases can even cause some kind of mental condition that is not satisfactory. Um, now, don't think of it so much as a mental illness thing. I mean, because I'm no psychologist. I would not get into that kind of area or that kind of just because definitely I have no authority to do so. But I do have authority to declare with a lot of frustration. I have the right to declare how disappointed I am with all of this bad music that is floating around on YouTube. And oh, it's so bad with a lot of this music that I'm not sure if Spectrum Cable TV would be willing to play this music on their own music choice channels. Because definitely Spectrum Cable TV has music choice channels. My family is very well off, and my family is able to have cable TV still at this time. It's cable TV, it's just with the internet instead of the traditional uh, wire that was required for cable TV. Now it's basically Spectrum uh, without the actual cable, but it is still the same thing in essence. Um, I mean, music choice channels do a lot and serve a lot, and they try to have a lot of calming music just to help, hopefully, help YouTube visitors recover from all of the bad nonsense that is out there on the internet. It does get very frustrating. I mean, really, really, it it breaks my heart. It, it does make me cry a little bit here and there, and I can feel a tear here. I mean, with how hopelessly bad a lot of this music is on YouTube. Let me ask you artists this. Let me ask you artists this. If you upsetted a critic like me by your false art so much that a critic like me is crying, would you even think about maybe somehow changing your art at least a little bit to make it a little bit better? If you were making critics cry because of your bad music, would you maybe somehow consider that maybe the bad music is not the only hope in this world, and that you could do something else that can make the day better for these weeping critics? I don't know. Some music artists on YouTube are so vicious in their messages to the audience that I do not even think of them as entertainers. I think of them instead as drug addicts or um, criminals with a lot of money to spend. And of course, it does get into the dark side with all of this nonsense going on. It's really down in the gutters with so many of these fake music artists. They will think that they are making the world dance when instead it's cynical lack of reaction with a lot of the audience, and it they may dance somewhere, or they may sing somewhere, or they may um, imitate their favorite music artists here and there, but it's without a heart. It's without a soul. It gets into wild animal territory. It's really, really in the very forbidden side. So much in the forbidden side. I mean, it gets very sad, very intensely sad. Definitely, I mean, I was listening to music on YouTube and I just clicked dislike, 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 like, oh, dislike, dislike, dislike. You see, hatred and pain are not exactly the same things, although they do have some threads of relativity. Um, People obviously hate it when they are in pain. And what's sad about it is um, one of the symptoms that there is of a human being and his or her exposure to bad art is sickness. I mean, feeling woozy, feeling drowsy, feeling ill, um, coming to terms with a lot of depression, a lot of sadness, a lot of disappointment. It's very severe. So many fake music artists on YouTube will have musical confusion. They will dance out of tune. They will sing out of tune. They will talk out of tune. They will beat the drum out of tune. They will string a guitar out of tune. Musical confusion is very evident in a lot of music videos with a lot of this irrelevant scenery in the music videos. Music videos show a lot of the nonsense by immature and fake music artists. These are not experts in the music industry. And sure, it's very common on YouTube for a music artist to have millions of viewers for video, but what does that prove if the art is bad? When the art is bad, it's actually a tragedy that millions and millions of people wasted their time hearing that music junk. It is music junk, whatever way you put it. The lyrics are incomprehensible. The beats are unproductive. The chords are dysfunctional. I mean, this is bad music. Um, it is very lacking of harmony and very engrossing of horrific aspects. I mean, this is the kind of material that Best Buy electronics stores were very afraid of. The kind of musical confusion that takes the form of poisonous disentertainment. This is not entertainment. This is disentertainment. And it gets into very, very gross levels. I mean, it's especially bad when some nobody music artist is practically vomiting while attempting to sing a song. And definitely these music videos definitely draw the card of the devil at times, and they become very, very evil works of art, and it's poison for the mind. It's sad too, because it's with a lot of false promise of quality, false promise of longevity, false promise of enjoyment. Definitely there are these broken promises due to this musical confusion. And definitely with the music videos, I think if there's going to be grammar for books, and if a person can be like a book, there should also be grammar for the human body, as in the human body in motion. Because definitely these music artists are vomiting all over themselves. They have a lot of terrible and wicked habits. And I'm making this talk show video as a way to recover from that art. And it's so much that I'm stopping my own art to express my frustration by the negative art of others that I see. It's very disheartening to see the internet cave into a lot of low-end wonders that reach forbidden territory. It's very disgusting. Very disgusting, very negative, very bad. Um, I'm wondering if I could recover from this in time for tomorrow, even for another talk show. I go onto YouTube and I enter keywords at random, random keywords to see what search results I could get from YouTube. And I click on these official music videos, or at least song links by YouTube, these official song links, and YouTube authenticity, to a certain extent, is something kind of like a struggle. It's a struggle at this point for YouTube to maintain YouTube authenticity. And it could seem that the lack of YouTube authenticity makes justice impossible. It can make law and order impossible, especially with a lot of seemingly famous rappers promoting their content for haters. And that's the worst part of all when it comes to bad art. Bad art can become so seemingly famous, whatever the hell that word means, or popular, whatever the hell that word means, that the bad music becomes, in some cases, propaganda for political hatred. And there's a lot of it on the internet. So much of it that the legal authorities do not know what to do with this negative art influence, and it's very damaging to the mind. Very, very damaging. Although, if I could give some positive light on it, if positive light is possible, I think at least a few of these music artists would be able to tell the truth to an extent here and there about their struggles with alcohol, their struggles with marijuana, their struggles with something that is like cocaine or like heroin. And definitely that does act as a little bit of a documentary sort of style of sorts. And that's not all bad, because at least there's a record of it for the public to look at and for the public to maintain their social distancing from. And there have been music artists who have died in the name of drug addiction because of their poisonous music disorder. And it reaches to the point that definitely I think music does need to be healthy enough for the mind and not cause so much disorder of the human body. um, there is the need for music to be healthy for the human body, a need for music to make uh, a forgiving reaction by the victim, if you will, by the victim of the music, because definitely music should be about um, applaudable content, the kind of applaudable content that gets into fair territory, that gets into um, um, forgiving territory, where it's as if the art can heal rather than destroy. And musical confusion is really a problem because it does cause this sickness with the listeners between knowledge and body condition, and they get so confused about their whereabouts in this world due to the negative influence of this fake music art on YouTube, on the internet, on cable TV. It is really sad to see a lot of the population, a lot of the world become impacted because of this poisonous array of false music by these fake music artists. And I'm not sure if we even have any means of recovery at this point from all of this music. At this point, it may require a miracle for there to be any form of recovery from some of this kind of negative musical confusion, because it's so bad in some cases that I think there needs to be a release from God rather than man, and it does get that bad with the poisonous music. And that's my talk show for tonight, and I thank my audience for listening to my frustration levels for this tragedy that's going on with the internet and the music world. And keep on listening to music, but just be careful of what you listen to, because you may not like it, even if you may feel something towards it. Take care. Have a good one.